Oluwo Olawole Olakunle. I'm a young IFA priest and a tech enthusiast. I'm welcoming you first of all to the IFA Priest TV, where in this episode of our series we'll be talking about ISHÄFA and ITÄFA, the difference and the resolution with young people who are venturing into IFA and Orisha. Young people are taking the giant step into moving away from the conventional and are trying to find their route into understanding the difference between IFA and Orishas. And they're trying as much as possible to move on that journey towards self-discovery, within the framework of African spirituality. And as they are trying as much as possible to do that, a lot of people are finding it difficult to differentiate between ISHÄFA and Itefa, which is more or less like the complete and initial process of IFA initiation. And in this episode, we'll be talking about ISHÄFA and Itefa, the similarities, the difference, and how it relates or resonates with young people who are venturing into IFA and Orisha. My name once again is Oluwo Olawole Olakunle, and thank you for joining us. My name once again is Oluwo Olawole Olakunle. I am an IFA priest and a tech enthusiast. And as we're talking about ISHÄFA and Itefa, which a lot of young people are venturing into IFA and Orisha spirituality. It will be wrong for us to not be able to explain ISHÄFA and Itefa to them as a means of onboarding them into African spirituality using the Yoruba system of spirituality, which is through IFA and Orishas. Now, it will also be wrong for us to explain ISHÄFA and Itefa without first of all explaining what IFA is or what IFA entails. I'm going to use a verse of IFA in Ijogbe to explain vividly and to analyze what IFA is and the role IFA has to play in our daily life, which will help us to now differentiate between ISHÄFA and Itefa. Ijogbe says, Otoro, Otara, Ajakuru Bele, Agbadidi Kiridi, Ajandidi Kudi, Ọjọ́ tí a pín ọjọ́ la pín ẹ̀là, ọjọ́ tá a pín ẹ̀là la pín ọjọ́, idẹ la pín fún onímọ̀ ẹ̀kẹ́gẹ́, àgbẹ̀ la pín fún orí ìbíní, okùn la pín fún orí ìràdà, etí la pín fún ọ̀run là tètè tasẹ̀ tolúwẹ̀rí. Wọ́n ní ètí ṣe etí rí bàrà mi ẹ̀gbìn lọ́mọ tó jẹ́ pé etí lẹ̀ tún wálé, ó nítorí àwọn ọmọ tòun ni, ó nítorí tó bá ń bẹ ní ikọ̀ àwùsí, tá a bá dánu sùúrù ajé wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́, òun á ṣe tí wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ òun á gbọ́, òun á tara ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá bá a ṣe káà nílé ajé wẹ́rẹ́ lọ́wọ́, nítorí tó bá ń bẹ ní dòròmì àwùsẹ̀, tá a bá dánu sùúrù ọmọ rere, òun á tún ṣe tí wẹ́rẹ́ òun á gbọ́, òun á lè wá bá a ṣe káà nílé ọmọ nílé ayé, nítorí tá a bá ń bẹ ní ìfẹ́ òdà ayé dojúmọ́ tí mọ́ wálé ayé, tá a bá dánu sùúrù rere gbogbo, òun á tún ṣe tí wẹ́rẹ́ òun á gbọ́, òun á tara ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá bá a ṣe káà nílé gbogbo nílé ayé. In this verse of Ijogbe, IFA analyzes how God shared the attributes and the energies within the different races of mankind. And it was clearly stated here for those who understand the allegorical part of Yoruba language that Olodumare shared his energies via the progenitors of each race. Orunmila, being the progenitor of the black race, was given the energy to talk and to communicate with the cosmic realm without any age. Which means, if I says, which means that Orunmila was given the listening ear or a communication mechanism between man and God. So one of the things that helped us as Africans is one of the blessings that God has given to us as Africans is a portal, a direct portal of communication between what is between man and the cosmic. Now, IFA or Ikinfa that we have today is the communicating portal or communication portal between man and the Orishas and man and the cosmic realm. So Orunmila, through IFA, can help us communicate with man and the Orishas. Now, IFA here is a means or is a tool of communication between humans and Olodumare, as we, as our fathers, have been able to research and as our fathers have been able to put in place. IFA ni atu ori eni to osunwon se. How does IFA atu ori eni to osunwon se? IFA does that through communicating. We communicate our problems and our research to the cosmic realm, and then we get an answer. We get a concrete response, because communication is obviously a medium of sending signal and receiving signal. So as Africans, we have before time, since time immemorial, we've been sending information to the cosmic realm, to God, and we've been receiving answers. We've been sending questions and receiving answers through IFA. So IFA is the eti that Orunmila had, the listening ear of God, through which he can communicate with the cosmic realm at all times and at different intervals. Now, having known that, with the kind of information that we can now always get from God, it is always obvious that we can now have room to solve some of our challenges. We can have rooms to make research about some of the things that we need to unravel about the world at large, and so on and so forth. So Ifa basically is Agbejo Ipinro, our spiritual solicitor, our spiritual guide, our spiritual help, a means through which we can get help, a means through which we can get soliciting, a means through which we can have someone. If I solicit on behalf of our leader, on behalf of our spiritual portal, our spiritual means of connecting with the spiritual realm. So each and every one of us has a portal of communicating with God, which we all call our Wuri. It is Ifa that translates the language of the cosmic for our Wuri, and in such a way that we can now begin to understand our lives. Now, how do we have Ifa, and how do we relate with Ifa? Majority of us has been told, go and have Ifa, go and do ISHÄFA, go and do Itefa. What does it mean? What does it entail basically? Itefa is the process of going to Igbo to decipher and to know type of Ori or destiny that has been allotted to us and to be selected from heaven before we come to the face of the heart. When we get to the face of the heart, on our journey to the face of the heart, we most times forget the destinies that we have selected in heaven. And it is obviously not possible for us to go back to heaven to find out why we selected on the type of destiny we have selected. What Orunmila did as the progenitor of the black race was for him to design a system where the heavenlies can be brought down to the face of the earth, and we can be consecrated and we can be cleansed enough to meet with them, to ask and be given a second chance at knowing the kind of destiny that we have selected in heaven before we come to the face of the heart. So Ifa that we have through ISHÄFA will be taken with us to Igbo Odu to help us to interpret, because the language that they are speaking there is in numerology, is in high language, it's a spiritual language that is different from the language that we hear or that we understand or can comprehend. So what we do is that we consecrate or we cleanse our Ifa and we cleanse ourselves in the entrance of Igbo Odu. When we get to Igbo Odu is from the word Igbo Olodumare, designed as a place where the heavens, where the orishas, where the energies of Olodumare will come down, and we can be their presence while giving a second chance to know what we have selected and the kind of destiny that we have selected in heaven before we come to the face of the earth. Knowing this will give us a good map, a comprehensive map as to how we have come to live our life. Who am I? Who are my guardian orishas? Who am I? What are my taboos? What have I come to do on the face of the earth? What is my limitations? What are my limitations? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are the things? What are the type of woman I can marry? Who am I? What formulates my gene? What is the active gene in my body? What is the passive gene in my body? And every information, every outer information you want to know about your existence of the face of heart can be found while going to Igbo Odu. The process through which we take ourselves and our Ifa to Igbo Odu to discover whom we are and to know the kind of destiny we have chosen in heaven before we come to the face of the heart is called Itefa. Itefa, therefore, is simply the process through which we take our own Ifa that we now have through ISHÄFA and our Ori that has now been cleansed at the entrance of Igbo Odu to Igbo Odu to know the type of destiny we have chosen in heaven before we sojourn to the face of the heart. Well, Itefa cannot be done in absentia. It is only ISHÄFA. And the reason why we do ISHÄFA in absentia is because Ifa can work for people who are in the prison, people who are nowhere to be found, people whom the society have rejected, somebody who is already mad and all whatnot. So somebody who cannot be physically present can be done ISHEFA for because of some various challenges. So those challenges can now be related to contemporary day challenges, whereby somebody who is in the UK or who is abroad can now be done ISHEFA for. But then it is only ISHEFA consecrating and receiving one hand of Orunmila that can be done in one's absence. Yorubas will say, for that reason, you cannot do Itefa in one's absence, because obviously you cannot take one Ori to Igbo Odu in that person's absence. And in the essence of being rich, while I laugh, a lot of people have come to me to say that, Olu, I want to be rich. I believe that once I do Itefa, I will be rich. No. To know is to be free. Itefa will take you on the journey towards self-discovery, to know yourself. It is believed that the moment you have a comprehensive study and knowledge of yourself, there's no reason why you should not be rich, because obviously you now know that this is the reason why I'm not rich. This is the Orisha that I'm supposed to reach. These are my guardian angel. It is Ogun. The moment I'm hungry, it is Ogun I need to talk to that will help me solicit for finance spiritually and all whatnot. So Itefa will only give you that knowledge, the kind of rights you should do, the kind of Orisha you should talk to, the kind of taboos you should move away from, the things that are preventing you from achieving greatness. Those things, those knowledge is what Itefa will give you, that will substantiate your effort to becoming rich. But those doing Itefa without abiding by the knowledge, by the information enveloped within the knowledge of Itefa, would not help you to become rich. So for those of us who have gone through Itefa and we are not wealthy enough, we have not seen the positives of Itefa, we should ask ourselves, am I abiding by my worth? Do I even know my orishas? What is the information that I've been given? Am I abiding by the knowledge that I've acquired through Itefa? A comprehensive analysis of one's knowledge through Itefa can help you go through the process of living a wealthy and prosperous life altogether. Therefore, the process where we take our Ifa, ourselves, to Igbo Odu, having been cleansed at the entrance, to understand the kind of destiny we have chosen in heaven before we come to the face of the earth, through rigorous spiritual processes, is called Itefa. Aboru, Aboye, Aboye. My name once again is Thank you for listening.